I started Internship Bank in mid-December, December 2019, and for a with the aim of providing a platform which would act as a repository of internship opportunities for women that are provided by very senior women professionals. Now, coming to your question as to why only for women, Charu, I don't know about whether things have improved in India or not, but there were two reasons, there were two incidents continuously which I was facing, which made me decide on to bring this initiative. First and foremost was, I've worked in London, I continue to work in Hong Kong, and business trips require me to visit India very often. And in spite of the progress that we say we've been making, and I'm sure we are making, I still see very few women when I either walk into a presentation or for a meeting. So that provoked me to kind of take a step back and think about what I could do to perhaps improve the situation, give internships perhaps as an opportunity to women to hone their skills and perhaps increase their chances of making it to their dream job and thereby continue in the job once they step into the career full-fledgedly. So that was one thing. I felt that there were few women, even in places like London and Hong Kong, where I often find myself being the only women or just one or two of the three women present in an entire meeting or presentation hall. The other reason which prompted me to bring about Internship Bank is I continue to go and teach in various law universities in India. And those are not the top national law schools as we know it. They are lesser known colleges. And I came across some really bright minds. And what I was told is that they really struggled to get internships. And Charu, when I talked to them, these are smart students, and perhaps the only thing that's really pulling them back or not getting them the opportunities that they would ideally like is the fact that they don't have a brand value, or the brand name of their college is not really that accomplished or known, or they don't have a strong alumni network. So combining these things, the underrepresentation of women in the profession and the fact that students of lesser known colleges really struggle to get internship opportunities, I combined the two of these and brought about this platform. Charu, what else do you want to know about Internship Bank? Okay, before, one thing I really want to stress is Internship Bank is not just a repository of internship opportunities. So I don't just step away after connecting the internship offerer and the intern. I will be with you throughout the process, meaning I will train you for interviews. So the way Internship Bank offers is you go to our website, check out the internships that are advertised there, see where you are a good fit, and then fill in the online application form on the website. And once you've completed that, what happens is I do a preliminary check to see if you satisfy the very basic criteria which the internship offerer has laid out. And if you do, I invite you for an interview with myself first. So that's a very friendly one-to-one chat where I try and see the best qualities that I can put forth on your behalf to the internship offerer. So I'm your friend throughout the entire process, and there's no need to feel scared of me. And I want you to be absolutely honest with me about any hiccups that you might think you might face in your application process. So once I've interviewed you and I feel you're a suitable candidate, I'll put forth your name to the internship offerer. Now, the internship offerer can have additional compliances required from your end. So he or she could further interview you. And if they do, I will train you for the interview. So I'm there. Internship Bank is there with you throughout the process. It's not like I step back or Internship Bank steps back after simply introducing both the internship offerer and the intern. So we review your CV, we format your CV if we think that you are a good candidate for the particular advertised position. We interview you and prepare you for the interview. And even during your internship, we are there with you to guide you through the process. So you will have an external mentor in the form of either myself or one of my teammates throughout the process. And that's what I think really distinguishes Internship Bank, in the sense that we are not just trying to bring about to you internship opportunities. We are providing you a platform whereby you have a mentorship opportunity, both externally in the form of myself and my teammates, but also while at internship, you are being placed with a senior established women professional who will be acting as your mentor. And Charu, as you know, that's an excellent thing. How many of us had this kind of a benefit when we were interning? And what it also does is it provides you with a role model. We as women, we often lack the role model in flesh and blood. We are often left to deal with women role models who we hear about on television and read about them in magazines. So through an internship via Internship Bank, you are placed under a woman mentor who could be a role model, and unconsciously or consciously, you could pick up on the ideas and the way she maneuvers herself through all the problems that she faces in her office. And that would definitely help you once you are a senior yourself, So it provides you mentorship, it provides you with a role model, and it provides you with internship opportunities. So that's what Internship Bank does. Yeah, Internship Bank is only as good as the internship offers that we receive. And it's not just my effort or my team's effort. There have been so many women who have so graciously and so helpfully come forward. And my eternal thanks to them. There's still many women who are so excited about the fact that we are joining hands to help others. And they are as excited, or perhaps at times more excited than the interns, at this concept. And I'm most thankful to each and every one of them who have come forward in the past and continue to come forward to help us in this initiative. Okay, this is a question I get very, very often, and students. What students must keep in mind is the person who you've applied to don't have the benefit of knowing you personally. So you need to put in all the qualities that you think would make you suitable for the job. Sometimes I get asked, ma'am, is academic rank, do you need to be a rank holder to secure a good internship? Whereas rank does not actually denote your institution. What it shows is a consistent, coordinated effort, a focused effort towards achieving a goal. And I think that gives a stranger who does not have the benefit of knowing you an idea as to what kind of an individual you are and how you perform at the job. So I'm not saying rank is the only thing, but what I'm saying is try and bring out all that you can in that two-page document, which we call a CV. All the best features that you can about yourself in it. And what I mean by it is I've often seen students miss out on referring to their internal achievements. They're so focused on the external competition, the external programs that they have attended, that they often forget to mention what they have done internally. And I always advise students that because the person reviewing your CV is a total stranger, what's important for you is to give a perspective, for you to give as much of perspective to your achievements. It's not just enough to say what your achievements were. For example, if you've participated, in moods like Jessup and all of those, people know about it. But the ones that are of lesser, people know less about them. It's important to also state the number of participants who qualified in the initial round. So even if you came 10th, don't hesitate to mention that achievement, because it definitely sets you apart from the others who either didn't participate at all or who didn't even qualify for the external rounds. So whatever be your achievements, make sure that you quantify it and give a perspective. So rank is important. What is important are your extracurricular activities, both external as well as internal, because people often miss out from listing out their internal achievements. So even if you participated in the internal rounds of a competition in your university, do make a mention of it. Another thing people often feel is not important to mention in the CV, but I can tell you it's important, is your organization capacity. So if you've organized something or helped in organizing, do make a mention of it, because soft skills in a job are as important as your legal skills. So that's what about I can think about. And yeah, do make sure there are no typos. Make sure it's listed out. So often people write my CGPA is 7, but 7 out of what, Charu? You need to mention, because different universities have different grading system. So I'm familiar, for example, with the grading system of NUJS. So I don't know how other universities operate. So it's very important to give a perspective. Yeah.
Right.
Right. So my advice to anyone who's watching this webinar is grab any opportunity that comes your way. No opportunity is small. Even till this date, I follow it. If someone tells me that, Debs, you have to go and study chemistry at some seminar that's happening nearby your house, Charu, I would still go, even though chemistry and law are really totally very unrelated. The idea being that you don't know who you will end up meeting in that conference. So guys, the message that I want to try and give you across is university is one of those platforms where you have a scope of trying out and checking for yourself what you're good at. So do grab every opportunity that comes your way. Don't think it's an internal event, so it won't add much value to my CV. Everything helps you take that extra step and mile and brings you closer to that dream job that you've always thought of. So advice is grab every opportunity that comes your way. I often get asked, Charu, that, ma'am, I don't come from a top law school, so there isn't much happening, in the sense not many competitors approach us for many competitions. My advice in that scenario would be create opportunities for yourself. Write a blog, bring about a website. Things like this don't require external input. These are things you can do on your own. Start an initiative of, even like, say, educating students. Pro bono activities really count, because it shows an initiative without any monetary benefit associated with it, and it shows a kind of a mindset where you want to give back to the society, and that's something I can tell you is very coveted, at least for international internships and job opportunities. So create opportunities, gather 4 or 5 people from, say, your domestic helpers, teach them after school, impart legal education, be an active participant of your legal aid society. So you really don't always have to depend on external opportunities. Create those opportunities yourself if opportunities don't come knocking at your door. And even if something is on the face of it not related to law, say, for example, you get the chance to go and practice or hone your cricket skills, absolutely go for it. Because I can tell you from experience, Charu, what happened was one of the youngsters I knew ended up at an interview board where the person interviewing him was a cricket fanatic. And this youngster loved cricket, and most of the interview they started and kept talking about cricket, and that's where they bonded. So what I'm trying to say is absolutely anything and everything. Keep yourself busy. I think wasting time is the most criminal thing you can do at university. Either it need not be only in the area of law. Do what you're passionate about, and things will add up and will definitely help you secure the job that you want later. CV, you should use the words in your CV like the way you would spend money. The way you wouldn't go about spending money, anywhere and everywhere, and you only spend money where it adds value. So every word in your CV, make sure it adds value. So check and recheck those words. If something you've written in your CV is repetitive or really doesn't add value, for example, I'm very trustworthy. You can just say trustworthy. I'm just giving an example. That's not something you write in your CV. But what I'm trying to say is treat every word that you put into your CV as if it adds value. And what other things that I've found personally very helpful is, for example, you list out your major achievements, your most recent achievements or major achievements, even if they happened a few years ago, and then say, and similar activities. And what it does, Charu, is it gives you that talking point. When in an interview, it leaves that bit of suspense out there. So you list out all the major things, and for the ones that are not that important or have happened a few years ago, you kind of use words like, and similar activities or something. So that still gives you a chance to kind of speak about your achievements. So you shouldn't just talk about how the internship will be helping you. What is important is you highlight how that internship would be helping the internship offerer too. And that's where good candidates score over those who are still trying to get the ropes of securing a good internship. So what's important before you write a cover letter is to read, reread, reread the job requirements or the internship requirements. And what you have to do in your cover letter is match each of the requirements that the internship offerer has requested for with the qualifications that you bring on the table. So say, for example, your job offerer has requested for someone with experience in the field of competition law, just say, for example. So your first and foremost point should be to say how experienced or what you bring in the area of competition law. So instead of highlighting generally what your achievements have been, so it's like a dating process, Charu, So you just match the qualities. So whatever the internship offerer has requested for, you kind of tell him or her how you match those qualities, and that is a sample of a good covering letter. Yeah. Career is all about extension of relationships. How there is a reason why a certain advocate's practice is more busy than someone else. Of course, legal skills are important, but I tell you from experience, Charu, I'll pick up the phone and talk to someone who I'm comfortable with speaking. So what I want to emphasize and re-emphasize, and this is often something I feel in the Indian context we lose out, there is so much of emphasis on academics and on law that people forget the soft skills. And let me tell you, they are as important, if not more important, than what you bring to the table in terms of legal skills. So, and especially if you're applying for foreign internships or foreign jobs, the first thing, Charu, when I interview candidates, I'm told is to check whether the candidate will be a good fit into the team. And what I mean by that is whether we are not checking whether you're a good lawyer in the first instance. What we are absolutely, and we want to get this right, is we've taken time to build the team. So we want someone friendly, someone enthusiastic, someone who shows in a team spirit. So these qualities, I cannot emphasize to you how important they are, especially when you are applying for jobs abroad or internships abroad, where the emphasis on soft skills is much more. Remember, the first impression you create with a person is the way you say hi, hello, and reach out to the person, as opposed to your legal skills. I mean, no one is going to come knocking at your door and you will start rattling about law. It's all about how you smile, how you talk, how you create that first impression, and then the legal part of it comes. So it's absolutely important. So of course, internships, the major focus is on picking up the nuances of the job. But what I would really advise all interns to keep a watch out for is how to check out how your mentor is addressing queries, how your mentor is dealing with problems. And these are things which you should unconsciously or consciously pick up during your internship period. So absolutely important. I am a strong supporter of soft skills, especially because ultimately it will be these relationships which will determine how successful you are in your career. Three things, three qualities. Okay, be focused. Okay, I think that's very important. Be focused. Be diligent, consistent. Be diligent and consistent, and be on the lookout. When I say that, be eager to learn more new things and new skills that come by your way, and always be open to learning. this is a very important question, because if you don't know what is expected out of you, how do you measure if you are at all matching up to the expectations? So I absolutely think that when you walk into the door of the office where you're going to intern, it's very important for you to realize what are the expectations. So it's absolutely mandatory that you lay out the expectations of your internship offerer very clearly in your mind. And what could those expectations be? So the first and foremost is, Charu, I'm sure none of us are expecting Pali Nariman or Palkiwala walking in through our doors. So what I'm trying to say, interns, students, we are not expecting you to be ace legal experts. If that's the case, then you're taking away our jobs. So what we are definitely expecting out of interns, especially at your level, see, when we are judging you, we do keep in mind the level of education or where you are in your university. So we are not expecting legal experts, but we are definitely expecting people who are diligent, who are able to absorb information, who are proactive. And there are many things during the internship period which are within your control. For example, punctuality. Please be punctual. There's no excuse for not being punctual. And when I say be punctual, that does not itself show that you are someone who comes by on time. That shows someone who has a certain amount of discipline, focus. It shows enthusiasm. So your turning up on time just does not show that you are someone who just turns up on time. There are many other behavioral traits that one can determine from it. So be punctual, be very professionally neat looking, dressed, be very, very proactive, because these things are within your control. And the application of the law and all of that, when we come to that front, be extra careful that if your senior has given you a particular comment on something, yeah, so make sure that comment is not just reflected in that particular turnaround of documents. If that comment were to be applicable in later part of the work that you do for the person, keep that in mind, because make sure that your senior does not have to repeat the same instruction specifically for other jobs that might come in future. What will set you apart as a good intern is if you are able to absorb that instruction, not just for that particular turnaround of work, but also for later turnarounds of work. So a simple example would be if your senior has asked for a printout of a particular research work that you've done, make sure next time when you go with the research work, even before your senior asks a printout, you already have the printout ready. It's all about observe your senior's behavior, because there's no correct way of doing something. Every senior has a different way and a preference in which he or she would like their intern to work. There is no right or wrong way, Charu, as you would know. It's all about, some people would love to see printouts being handed to them, whereas others would absolutely, panic if you give a printout because they're more environmentally conscious, right? So these are small things, but ultimately these small things add up. So do take a note of these things. And one mantra, Charu, if I may put it, put yourself in the internship offerer's place. So say, for example, you needed an intern. What would have been the things that you would have wanted out of that intern? You would have wanted that intern to basically make your life simple, smooth, so that you could go out and play golf, right? So make sure that you go out and do all the things that you would have liked in an intern that you would have hired. I think that's the most simple and basic way about going and doing your internship. So be the intern that you would have liked to hire, and I don't think you can go wrong from that. Yeah. Consistent, I would say it's not just enough to do good work once, because even in our profession, Charu, as you would know, you're only good as your last transaction. You're only good as the review that your last client gives. You cannot rest on your laurels. So consistency is something that's absolutely required. And be eager, because often I see I think as soon as Charu, be the intern that you would have liked to hire. I think that sums it up. So anytime you have a doubt, just exchange places with your boss and see what you would have liked, and you can't go wrong. You guys are smart, intelligent adults, so I trust you to make the right decision. Yeah.